Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Answer C. Explanation. All India State People Conference. Blacksword Square, the All India States. Jaya Prakash Narayan. B. Sheikh Ab. Towards Freedom and Partition, 1939-1947, Part 1. Question 1. Q. Who among the following was the President of the All India States People's Conference in 1939? 2001. Jaya Prakash Narayan. B. Sheikh Abdullah. C. Jawaharlal Nehru. D. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Answer C. Explanation. All India State People Conference. Blacksword Square, the All India States People's Conference, AISPC, was a conglomeration of political movements in the princely states of the British Raj, which were variously called Praja Mandals or Lok Parishads. Blacksword Square, it was established to encourage political dialogue between the princely class of India and the British Raj upon the issues of governance, political stability and future of India. Blacksword Square, the first session of the organization was held in Bombay in December 1927. Blacksword Square, the conference looked to the Indian National Congress for support, but Congress was reluctant to provide it until 1939, when Jawaharlal Nehru became its president, serving in this position till 1946. Blacksword Square, the States People's Conference dissolved itself on the 25th of April 1948 and all its constituent units merged into the Congress, with one exception, viz., the Jammu and Kashmir National Conference. This body, under the leadership of Sheikh Abdullah, remained independent, while one section of it merged with the Congress in 1965. Blacksword Square, the body played an important role during the political integration of India, helping Indian leaders Vallabhbhai Patel and Jawaharlal Nehru negotiate with hundreds of princes over the formation of united, independent India after 1947. Question 2. Q. Which party was founded by Subhash Chandra Bose in the year 1939 after he broke away from the Congress? 2005. Indian Freedom Party. B. Azad Hind Fauj. C. Revolutionary Front. D. Forward Bloc. Answer D. Explanation. Forward Bloc. Blacksword Square founder, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Blacksword Square founded, the 22nd of June 1939. Important facts. Blacksword Square, Subhash Chandra Bose resigned from Presidentship of Congress on the 29th of April 1939. Blacksword Square on the 3rd of May, he declared the formation of Forward Bloc to rally the radical elements. Blacksword Square in August, the same year Bose began publishing a newspaper titled Forward Bloc. He travelled around the country, rallying support for his new political project. Blacksword Square, the Forward Bloc held its first All India conference in Nagpur. Blacksword Square, the conference passed a resolution titled All Power to the Indian People, urging militant action for struggle against British colonial rule. Blacksword Square, Subhash Chandra Bose was elected as the president of the party and H.V. Kamath is the general secretary. Question 3. Q. Assertion A. The Congress ministries in all the provinces resigned in the year 1939. Reason R. The Congress did not accept the decision of the Viceroy to declare war against Germany in the context of the Second World War. 2008. Both are true but R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. Answer A. Explanation. Why Congress ministries resigned. Blacksword Square on September 3, 1939, Britain declared war against Germany and the British government of India declared India's support for the war without consulting India's opinion. Blacksword Square, the Indian offered to cooperate in the war effort with the two conditions. After the war, a constituent assembly should be convened to determine political structure of a free India. Immediately, some form of a genuinely responsible government should be established at the centre. Blacksword Square, this offer was rejected by Lord Linlithgow. Blacksword Square on October 23, 1939, the CWC Working Committee called upon the Congress ministries to resign in all the provinces. Question 4. Q. The Congress ministries resigned in the 7 provinces in 1939 because 2012 the Congress could not form ministries in the other 4 provinces. B. Emergence of a left wing in the Congress made the working of the ministries impossible. C. There were widespread communal disturbances in their provinces. D. None of the statements A, B, and C given above is correct. Answer D. Question 5. Q. Assertion A. Lord Linlithgow described the August movement of 1942 as the most serious rebellion since Sepoy Mutiny. Reason R. There was massive upsurge of the peasantry in certain areas. 1999, 2000. Both A and R are true but R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. Answer A. Explanation. August offer. Blacksword Square announced in 1940. Blacksword Square announced by Lord Linlithgow. Blacksword Square proposed to get the cooperation of India in the war effort. Background. Blacksword Square Hitler's astounding success in the fall of Belgium, Holland and France put England in a conciliatory mood. Blacksword Square both Gandhi and Nehru opposed the idea of taking advantage of Britain's position. Blacksword Square the Congress was ready to compromise, asking the British government to let it form an interim government. Question 6. Q. In the individual Satyagraha, Vinoba Bhave was chosen as the first Satyagrahi. Who was the second? 2009. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. B. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. C. C. Rajagopalachari. D. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Answer B. Explanation. Individual Satyagraha background. The government took the adamant position that no constitutional advance could be made to the Congress came to an agreement with the Muslim leaders. The aims of launching individual Satyagraha. Blacksword Square to show that nationalist patience was not due to weakness. Blacksword Square to express people's feeling that they were not interested in the war and that they made no distinction between the Nazis and double autocracy that was ruling India. Blacksword Square to give another opportunity to government to accept Congress demands peacefully. Blacksword Square the demand of the Satyagrahi would be the freedom of speech against the war through an anti-war declaration. Blacksword Square if the government did not arrest Satyagrahi, he or she would repeat it and start a march towards Delhi, thus starting a movement which came to be known as Delhi Chalo movement. Blacksword Square Vinoba Bhave was the first to offer the Satyagraha and Jawaharlal Nehru was the second. Blacksword Square by May 1941, 25,000 people had been convicted for individual civil disobedience. Question 7. Q. With reference to colonial period of Indian history, match list person with list 2 event and select the correct answer using the codes given below the lists. 2002. List 1 person, list 2 events. A. McDonald 1. Doctrine of Lapse. B. Linlithgow 2. Communal Award. C. Dalhousie 3. August offer. D. Chelmsford 4. Diaki. A. A3. B2. C1. D4. B. A3. B2. C4. D1. C. A2. B3. C1. D4. D. A2. B3. C4. D1. Answer C. Question 8. Q. Who the following Prime Ministers sent Cripps mission to India? 2009. James Ramsay MacDonald. B. Stanley Baldwin. C. Neville Chamberlain. D. Winston Churchill. Answer D. Explanation. Cripps mission. Blackswall Square came in 1942. Blackswall Square headed by Stafford Cripps. Blackswall Square reason to seek Indian support for the war. Why Cripps mission was sent. Blackswall Square Britishers were threatened by the Japanese threat to invade India. That's why Indian support became crucial. Blackswall Square there was pressure on Britain from the Allies, USA, USSR, and China to seek Indian cooperation. Blackswall Square Indian nationalists agreed to support the Britain if substantial power was transferred immediately and complete independence given after the war. Main proposals. Blackswall Square an Indian Union with a Dominion status would be set up. It would be free to participate in United Nations and other international bodies. It would be free to decide its relation with the Commonwealth. Blackswall Square after the end of war, a constituent assembly would be convened to frame a new constitution. Blackswall Square the British government would accept the new constitution to two conditions. Any province not willing to join the Union could have a separate constitution and form a separate Union. British government would negotiate treaty to effect the transfer of power and to safeguard racial and religious minorities. Blackswall Square governor's general powers would remain intact. Blackswall Square defense of India would remain in British hands for the meantime. Implications. Blackswall Square the making of constitution was to be solely in Indian hands now. A concrete plan was provided for the Constituent Assembly. A blueprint for India's partition option was available to any province to have a separate constitution. Free India could withdraw from the Commonwealth. Indians were allowed to contribute in administration and interim period. Why Cripps mission failed. Blackswall Square the Congress objected to the offer of Dominion status. Representation of the princely states by nominees. Right to provinces to secede. Absence of any plan for immediate transfer of power. Absence of any real share in defense. Blackswall Square the Muslim League criticized the idea of single Indian Union. Thought that the proposals denied the Muslims right to self-determination and creation of Pakistan. Blackswall Square the Liberals and Hindu Mahasabha criticized the basis of the right to secede. Blackswall Square 6 objected that partition would take away Punjab from them. Question 9. Q. Assertion A. The Congress rejected the Cripps proposals. Reason R. The Cripps mission consisted solely of whites. 1998. Both A and R are true but R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. Answer B. Question 10. Q. An important aspect of the Cripps mission of 1942 was 2003. That all Indian states should join the Indian Union as a condition to consider any degree of autonomy for India. B. The creation of an Indian Union with Dominion status very soon after the end of Second World War. C. The active participation and cooperation of the Indian people, communities and political parties in the British war efforts as a condition for granting independence with full sovereign status to India after the war. D. The framing of a constitution for the entire Indian Union, with no separate constitution for any province, and a union constitution to be accepted by all provinces. Answer B. Question 11. Q. Consider the following statements. The Cripps proposals include the provision for 1. Full independence for India. 2. Creation of constitution-making body. Which of the statements given above are correct? 2009. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Answer B. Do it yourself. Question 12. Q. The plan of Sir Stafford Cripps envisaged that after the Second World War, 2016. India should be granted complete independence. B. India should be partitioned into two before granting independence. C. India should be made a republic with the condition that she will join the Commonwealth. D. India should be given Dominion status. Towards Freedom and Partition, 1939-1947, Part 2. In this chapter, we will be analyzing the previous year UPSC prelims questions asked in context of India's freedom and partition during the time period of 1939-1947. It is an important topic, so let us first revise some of the important facts associated with it before we solve the question. This revision will allow you to answer the questions easily. Quit India movement background. Blackswall Square Cripps mission failed to solve the constitutional deadlock and exposed Britain's unchanged attitude on constitutional advance. Blackswall Square popular discontent because of rising prices and shortage of basic food items etc. Blackswall Square there were fears of Britain following a scorched earth policy in Assam, Bengal and Orissa against possible Japanese advancements. Blackswall Square news of reverses suffered by British in Southeast Asia enhanced popular willingness to give expression to discontent. Blackswall Square British behavior towards the Indian subjects in Southeast Asia exposed the racist attitude of the rulers. Blackswall Square the leadership wanted to condition the masses for a possible Japanese invasion. Spread of the movement. Blackswall Square the British government didn't wait for the movement to be formally launched. On August 1942, all the top leaders of the Congress were arrested and taken to unknown destinations. Blackswall Square the Congress Working Committee and the Provincial Congress Committees were declared unlawful associations under the Criminal Law Amendment Act of 1908. Blackswall Square the assembly of public meeting was prohibited. Blackswall Square the removal of established leaders left the younger and militant elements to their own initiative. Underground activity. Blackswall Square the participants in these activities were the socialists, forward bloc members, Gandhi Ashramites, revolutionaries and local organizations. Blackswall Square the main personalities were Ram Manohar Lohia, Jayaprakash Narayan, Aruna Asaf Ali, Usha Mehta started an underground radio in Bombay. Biju Patnaik, Sucheta Kripalani etc. Blackswall Square parallel governments were established at many places. Extent of mass participation. Blackswall Square youth, especially the students, remained in the forefront. Blackswall Square women, especially school and colleges girls, actively participated. Blackswall Square workers went on strike and faced repression. Blackswall Square peasants of all strata were at the heart of the movement. Blackswall Square Muslims helped by giving shelter to underground activists. There were no clashes during the movement. Blackswall Square the communists didn't join the movement. Blackswall Square the Muslim League opposed the movement. Blackswall Square the Hindu Mahasabha boycotted the movement. Blackswall Square the princely states showed a low-key response. Suppression of the movement. Blackswall Square the repression was severe. Blackswall Square agitating crowds were lathi-charged, tear gassed and fired upon. Blackswall Square rebellious villages were fined heavily and in many villages mass flogging was done. Blackswall Square main storm centers of the movement were in eastern United Provinces, Bihar, Midnapur, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Black Sword Square in February 1943. Gandhi started a fast as an answer to an exhortation by the government to condemn violence of the state. The news of the fast was overwhelming. Protests were organized at home and abroad. 3 members of the Viceroy's Executive Council resigned. Black Sword Square the fast achieved. Public morale was raised. Anti-British feeling was heightened. An opportunity was provided for political activity. Black Sword Square the British released Gandhi on account of his health in 1944, but he kept up the resistance, demanding the release of the Congress leadership. Question 1. Q. Consider the following statements. On the eve of launch of Quit India movement, Mahatma Gandhi 1. Asked the government servants to resign. 2. Asked the soldiers to leave their posts. 3. Asked the princes of the princely states to accept the sovereignty of their own people. Which of the statement given above are correct? 2005. 1 and 2, B, 2 and 3, C, 3 only. D, 1, 2 and 3 answer, C. Question 2. Q. With which one of the following movements is the slogan, do or die, associated? 2009. Swadeshi movement. B. Non-cooperation movement. C. Civil disobedience movement. D. Quit India movement. Answer, D. Question 3. Q. Quit India movement was launched in response to 2013. Cabinet mission plan. B. Cripps proposals. C. Simon Commission report. D. Wavell plan. Answer, B. Question 4. Q. Which one of the following observation is not true about the Quit India movement of 1942? 2011. It was a non-violent movement. B. It was led by Mahatma Gandhi. C. It was a spontaneous movement. D. It did not attract the labor class in general. Answer, A. Question 5. Q. After Quit India movement, C. Rajagopalachari issued a pamphlet entitled The Way Out. Which one of the following was proposed in this pamphlet? 2010. The establishment of a War Advisory Council composed of representatives of British India and the Indian states. B. Reconstitution of the Central Executive Council in such a way that all its members, except the Governor General and the Commander-in-Chief, should be Indian leaders. C. Fresh elections to the central and provincial legislatures to be held at the end of 1945 and a constitution-making body to be convened as soon as possible. D. A solution for the constitutional deadlock. Answer, D. Explanation. Rajagopalachari formula. When 1944. By whom? C. Rajagopalachari. Purpose of Congress League cooperation. Main points. Black Sword Square Muslim League to endorse Congress demands for independence. Black Sword Square League to cooperate with Congress in forming a provisional government at the center. Black Sword Square after the end of the war, the entire population of Muslim majority areas in the northwest and northeast India to decide by plebiscite whether or not to form a separate sovereign state. Black Sword Square in case of acceptance of partition agreement to be made jointly for safeguarding defense. Commerce, communications etc. Black Sword Square the above conditions to be operative only if England transferred full powers to India. Objections. Black Sword Square Jinnah wanted the Congress to accept the two-nation theory. He also opposed the idea of a common center. Black Sword Square Congress was ready to cooperate with the League for the independence of the Indian Union. But the League was only interested in a separate union. Black Sword Square Hindu leaders led by Veer Savarkar condemned the CR plan. Question 6. Q. The Indian National Army INA came into existence in 1943 and 2000. Japan. B. Burma. C. Singapore. D. Malaya. Answer, C. Explanation. Indian National Army background. Black Sword Square the initial credit for the formation of the Indian National Army goes to the Captain Mohan Singh, who set up the first division of the INA on the 1st of September 1942. Black Sword Square but due to the differences of opinion with the Japanese officials over the question of the role and members of the army, this proved to be a failure. Black Sword Square on the 2nd of July 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose reached Singapore and gave the rousing war cry of Delhi Chilo. Black Sword Square on the 5th of July 1943, he was made the president of Indian Independence League and in October became the supreme commander of the Indian National Army. Black Sword Square he also announced the formation of the Azad Hind government and proclaimed, give me blood and I will give you freedom. Black Sword Square he organized the Indian National Army INA and gave the country the slogan of Jai Hind. Black Sword Square the role of Rasbihari Bose should also be acknowledged. He had fled to Japan in 1915 following the failed revolutionary activities. Black Sword Square he made a lot of efforts in getting the Japanese interested in the Indian independence movement. He became active in Pan-Asian circles, founded the Indian Club of Tokyo and gave lectures on the evils of Western imperialism. Question 7. Q. Assertion A. According to the Wavell plan, the number of Hindu and Muslim members in the Executive Council were to be equal. Reason R. Wavell thought that this arrangement would have avoided the partition of India. 2007. Both are true but R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. Answer, C. Question 8. Q. Who suggested the reconstitution of the Viceroy Executive Council in which all the portfolios including theatre of war members were to be held by the Indian leaders? 2008. Simon Commission. B. Shimla Conference. C. Cripps proposal. D. Cabinet mission. Answer, B. Explanation. Wavell plan. Black Sword Square when 1945. Black Sword Square by whom? Lord Wavell, Viceroy. Reasons. Black Sword Square the general election in England was scheduled for MID 1945. The Conservatives wanted to be seen as sincere on reaching a solution. Black Sword Square there was pressure from the Allies to seek further Indian cooperation in the war. Black Sword Square the government wanted to divert Indian energies into channels more profitable for the British. Black Sword Square threat of Japanese invasion in India, forcing the British to negotiate. Features. Black Sword Square with the exception of the Governor General and the Commander-in-Chief, all members of the Executive Council were to be Indians. The reconstructed council was to function as an interim government within the framework of the 1935 Act, i.e. not responsible to the Central Assembly. Black Sword Square caste Hindus and Muslims were to have equal representation. Black Sword Square the Governor General was to exercise his veto on the advice of ministers. Black Sword Square possibilities were to be kept open for negotiations on a new constitution once the war was finally won. Stance of different parties. Black Sword Square Muslim League. The League claimed some kind of veto in the council with decisions opposed to Muslims needing a 2/3 majority for approval. Black Sword Square the Congress objected to the planners. An attempt to reduce the Congress to the status of a purely caste Hindu party insisted on its right to include members of all communities among its nominees. Shimla Conference. Black Sword Square the Shimla Conference 1945 was a meeting between the Viceroy and the major political leaders. of British India at Shimla, India. Blacksmall Square convened to agree on and approve the Wawel Plan for Indian self-government, and there it reached a potential agreement for the self-rule of India that provided separate representation for Muslims and reduced majority powers for both communities in their majority regions. Blacksmall Square talks, however, stalled on the issue of selection of Muslim representatives. Seeking to assert itself in its claim to be the sole representative of Indian Muslims, the All India Muslim League refused to back any plan in which the Indian National Congress appointed Muslim representatives. Blacksmall Square discredited the conference, and perhaps the last viable opportunity for a united, independent India. Towards Freedom and Partition, 1939-1947, Part 3. In this chapter, we will be analyzing the previous year UPSC prelims questions asked in context of India's freedom and partition during the time period of 1939-1947. It is an important topic, so let us first revise some of the important facts associated with it before we solve the question. This revision will allow you to answer the questions easily. Cabinet Mission. When announced in Feb 1946, British Prime Minister at the time of Cabinet Mission Clement Attlee purposed to find out ways and means for a negotiated, peaceful transfer of power to India. Members Pyq Lawrence, Stafford Cripps, A.V. Alexander. Main provisions. Rejection of the demand for full-fledged Pakistan because the Pakistan so formed would include a large non-Muslim population, 38% in the north, west and 48% in the northeast. The very principle of communal self-determination would claim separation of Hindu majority. Western Bengal and Sikh Hindu-dominated Ambala and Jalandhar divisions of Punjab. Deep-seated regional ties would be disturbed if Bengal and Punjab were partitioned. Partition would entail economic and administrative problems. The division of the armed forces would be dangerous. Three-tier executive and legislature at provincial, section and union levels. Blacksmall Square Constituent Assembly was to be elected by provincial assemblies by proportional representation. Voting in three groups, General, Muslims, Sikhs. Blacksmall Square grouping of existing provincial assemblies into three sections. Blacksmall Square Common Centre would control defence, communication and external affairs. A federal structure was envisaged for India. Blacksmall Square communal questions in the central legislature were to be decided by a simple majority of both communities present and voting. Blacksmall Square provinces were to have full autonomy and residual powers. Blacksmall Square princely states were no longer to be under paramountcy of the British government. They would be free to enter into an arrangement with successor governments or the British government. Blacksmall Square after the first general elections, a province was to be free to come out of the group and after 10 years. A province was to be free to call for a reconsideration of the group or the Union Constitution. Blacksmall Square meanwhile, an interim government was to be formed from the Constituent Assembly. Main objections. Congress. Provinces shouldn't have to wait to the first general elections to come out of a group. They should have the option of not joining a group in the first place. Compulsory grouping contradicts the oft-repeated insistence on provincial autonomy. Absence of provision for elected members from the princely states in the Constituent Assembly, they could only be nominated by the princes, was not acceptable. Muslim League. Grouping should be compulsory with sections B and C developing into solid entities with a view to future secession into Pakistan. The League had thought that the Congress would reject the plan, thus prompting the government to invite the League to form the interim government. Outcome. Blacksmall Square, the Muslim League on June 6 and the Congress on June 24, 1946 accepted the long-term plan put forward by the Cabinet Mission. Blacksmall Square, July 1946 elections were held in provincial assemblies for the Constituent Assembly. Blacksmall Square, July 10, 1946 Nehru made a statement. Blacksmall Square, July 29, 1946 the League withdrew its acceptance of the long-term plan in response to Nehru's statement and gave a call for direct action from August 16 to achieve Pakistan. Question 1. Q. Which one of the following is not correct about the Cabinet Mission Plan? 1996. A provincial grouping. B. Interim Cabinet of Indians. C. Acceptance of Pakistan. D. Constitution framing. Right answer. C. Question 2. Q. It made its proposals in May. It still wanted a united India. There was to be a federal union composed of British provinces. 1999. The above quotation is related to a Simon Commission. B. Gandhi Urban Pact. C. Cripps Mission. D. Cabinet Mission. Answer. D. Question 3. Q. The last opportunity to avoid the partition of India was lost with the rejection of 2002. A Cripps Mission. B. Rajagopalachari Formula. C. Cabinet Mission. D. Wawel Plan. Answer. C. Do it yourself. Question 4. Q. Which one of the following leaders of the Congress was totally in favor of Cabinet Mission Plan? 1999. A. Mahatma Gandhi. B. Jawaharlal Nehru. C. Sardar Patel. D. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Before we proceed to some more UPSC previous year questions asked in the context of India's final phase in its freedom struggle and subsequent partition, let us first go through some important facts associated with Constituent Assemblies. UPSC has asked repeated questions from these topics and revising the theory will allow you to solve the questions easily. Let us start by understanding some important facts associated with Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly. Blacksmall Square idea put forward by Enroy in 1934. Blacksmall Square adopted by Indian National Congress. 1935 Blacksmall Square accepted by British government. August offer. 1940 Blacksmall Square constituted Cabinet Mission Plan. 1946 Blacksmall Square purpose drafting the Constitution. Important facts associated with Constituent Assembly. Blacksmall Square Constituent Assembly is a body of representatives which is composed for drafting a constitution. Once the constitution is ready and adopted, the assembly is dissolved. Blacksmall Square it was first elected for undivided India, but after partition, some of its members ceased to exist as a separate Constituent Assembly was created for Pakistan. Blacksmall Square members of Constituent Assembly were indirectly elected. Blacksmall Square the members of the Constituent Assembly were indirectly elected by the members of the provincial assemblies by method of single transferable vote system of proportional representations. Blacksmall Square initially, its total membership was kept 389. After partition, the Constituent Assembly of India had 299 representatives. These included 229 members from provinces and 70 from princely states. There were total 9 women members. Blacksmall Square the basis of divisions of seats was population, roughly in 1:10 lakh ratio. Blacksmall Square the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly of India took place in New Delhi on the 9th of December 1946. Blacksmall Square Dr. Sachidananda Sinha was the first president of the Constituent Assembly. In the first meeting, the assembly adopted an objective resolution, which later became the preamble. Blacksmall Square after partition, Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the president of Constituent Assembly of Independent India. Professor H.C. Mukherjee was vice president of the Constituent Assembly. Blacksmall Square the Constituent Assembly appointed a total of 13 committees to deal with different tasks of constitution making. Major committees. Drafting Committee, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Bengal. Union Powers Committee, Union Constitution Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru, United Provinces. Provincial Constitution Committee, Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights, Minorities in Tribal and excluded areas, Sardar Patel. Rules of Procedure Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Steering Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. States Committee, Committee for Negotiating with States, Jawaharlal Nehru. Question 5. Q. Which one of the following first mooted the idea of the Constituent Assembly to frame a constitution for India? 1996. Swaraj Party in 1934. B. Congress Party in 1936. C. Muslims League in 1942. D. All Parties Conference in 1946. Answer A. Question 6. Q. With reference to Indian history, the members of the Constituent Assembly from the provinces were 2002, 2013. Directly elected by the people of those provinces. B. Nominated by the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League. C. Elected by the provincial legislative assemblies. D. Selected by the government for their expertise in constitutional matters. Answer C. Question 7. Q. Which one of the following statements is correct? 2004. The Constituent Assembly of India was elected by the provincial assemblies in the year 1946. B. Jawaharlal Nehru, M. A. Jinnah and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel were members of the Constituent Assembly of India. C. The first session of the Constituent Assembly of India was held in January 1947. D. The Constitution of India was adopted on the 26th of January 1995. Answer A. Question 8. Q.B.R. Ambedkar was elected to the Constituent Assembly from 1996. West Bengal. B. Bombay President. C. Madhya Bharat. D. Punjab. Answer A. Question 9. Q. In the interim government formed in 1946, the Vice President of the Executive Council was 1995. Jawaharlal Nehru. B. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. C. C. Rajagopalachari. D. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Answer A. Question 10. Q. When the Indian Muslims League was inducted into the interim government in 1946, Liaquat Ali Khan was assigned the portfolio of 1998. Foreign Affairs. B. Home. C. Finance. D. Defense. Answer C. Question 11. Q. Who headed the interim cabinet formed in the year 1946? 2003. Rajendra Prasad. B. Jawaharlal Nehru. C. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. D. C. Rajagopalachari. Answer D. Question 12. Q. Which portfolio was held by Dr. Rajendra Prasad in the interim government formed in the year 1946? 2006. Defense. B. External Affairs and Commonwealth Relations. C. Food and Agriculture. D. None of the above. Answer C. Towards Freedom and Partition, 1939-1947, Part 4. Question 1. Q. Consider the following statements. 1. Lord Mountbatten was the Viceroy when the Shimla Conference took place. 2. Indian Navy Revolt, 1946 took place when the Indian sailors in the Royal Indian Navy at Bombay and Karachi rose against the government. Which of the statements given above are correct? 2005. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Answer B. Explanation. Indian Navy Revolt. Blackswall Square on February 18, 1946, a section of non-commissioned officers and sailors known as ratings, serving in the Royal Indian Navy, mutinied against the British officers. The mutiny started as a strike by the ratings to protest against the hardships regarding pay, food and racial discrimination. Blackswall Square in the same night, a Naval Central Strike Committee was created by the ratings. This committee was presided by signalman M.S. Khan and Vice President was Petty Officer Telegraphist Madan Singh. Blackswall Square the strikes and hartals spread from Bombay to Calcutta, Madras and even Karachi. Blackswall Square the mutineers hoisted 3 flags tied together on the ships which they had captured, one of Congress, one of Muslim League, and the third red flag of the Communist Party of India. Blackswall Square the mutiny was ended by intervention of Sardar Patel, who after a meeting with M.S. Khan made a statement of ending the strike. The similar statement was made by the Jinnah. Blackswall Square the mutiny made an impression on the British that it would be better to leave the country. On February 19, the second day of this mutiny, cabinet mission was sent to India. Question 2. Q. With reference to Indian freedom struggle, consider the following events, 2017. 1. Mutiny in Royal Indian Navy. 2. Quit India movement launched 3. Second round table conference. What is the correct chronological sequence of the above events? 1, 2, 3, B, 2, 1, 3, C, 3, 2, 2, 1, D, 3, 1, 2. Answer. See, before we proceed to some more UPSC previous year questions asked in context of India's freedom struggle, let us first go through some important facts associated with partition of India, as UPSC has asked repeated questions from these topics and revising the theory will allow you to solve the questions easily. Partition of India. Viceroy led Mountbatten. Prime Minister Clement Attlee. President of Indian National Congress, B. Kripalani. Clement Attlee's statement. Blackswall Square deadline of June 30, 1948 was fixed for transfer of power even if the Indian politicians had not agreed by that time on the constitution. Blackswall Square the British would relinquish power either to some form of central government or in some areas to the existing provincial governments if the Constituent Assembly was not fully representative, i.e. if the Muslim majority provinces did not join. Blackswall Square British powers and obligations with the princely states would lapse with transfer of power. But these would not be transferred to any successor government in British India. Blackswall Square Mountbatten would replace Wavell as the Viceroy. Blackswall Square the statement contained clear hints of partition and even balkanization of the country into numerous states and was, in essence, a reversion of the Cripps offer. Mountbatten Plan, June 3, 1947. Blackswall Square the important points of the plan were as follows. Punjab and Bengal legislative assemblies would meet in 2 groups, Hindus and Muslims, to vote for partition. If a simple majority of either group voted for partition, then these provinces would be partitioned. In case of partition, 2 dominions and 2 constituent assemblies would be created. Sindh would take its own decision. Referendums in NWFP and Sylhet district of Bengal would decide the fate of these areas. Blackswall Square since the Congress had conceded a unified India, all their other points would be met, namely, independence for princely states ruled out, they would join either India or Pakistan, independence for Bengal ruled out. Accession of Hyderabad to Pakistan ruled out, Mountbatten supported the Congress on this, freedom to come on August 15, 1947. A boundary commission to be set up if partition was to be effected. Blackswall Square thus the League's demand was conceded to the extent that Pakistan would be created and the Congress position on unity was taken into account to make Pakistan as small as possible. Blackswall Square Mountbatten's formula was to divide India but retain maximum unity. Indian Independence Act, July 5, 1947. Blackswall Square on July 5, 1947 the British Parliament passed the Indian Independence Act which was based on the Mountbatten Plan, and the Act got royal assent on July 18, 1947. The Act was implemented on August 15, 1947. Blackswall Square the Act provided for the creation of 2 independent dominions of India and Pakistan with effect From August 15, 1947, Black Small Square each Dominion was to have a Governor-General to be responsible for the effective operation of the Act. Black Small Square, the Constituent Assembly of the each new Dominion, was to exercise the powers of the legislature of that Dominion, and the existing Central Legislative Assembly and the Council of States were to be automatically dissolved. Black Small Square for the transitional period, i.e., till a new constitution was adopted by each Dominion, the governments of the two Dominions were to be carried on in accordance with the Government of India Act, 1935. Black Small Square as per the provisions of the Indian Independence Act, 1947, Pakistan became independent on August 14 while India got its freedom on August 15, 1947. Black Small Square M.A. Jinnah became the first Governor-General of Pakistan. India, however, decided to request Lord Mountbatten to continue as the Governor-General of India. Question 3. Q. The Indian National Congress agreed in 1947 to the partition of the country mainly because, 1998. The principle of two-nation theory was then acceptable to them. B. It was imposed by the British government and the Congress was helpless in this regard. C. They wanted to avoid large-scale communal riots. D. India would have otherwise lost the opportunity to attain freedom. Answer C. Question 4. Q. As an alternative to the partition of India, Gandhiji suggested to Mountbatten that he, 2000. Postponed granting of independence. B. Invited Jinnah to form the government. C. Invited Nehru and Jinnah to form the government together. D. Invite the army to take over for some time. Answer B. Question 5. Q. The Balkan plan for fragmentation of India was the brainchild of 2000. A. W. Churchill. B. M. A. Jinnah. C. Lord Mountbatten. D. V. P. Menon. Answer C. Question 6. Q. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion A and the other labeled as reason R. Assertion A. The British sovereignty continued to exist in free India. Reason R. The British sovereign appointed the last Governor-General of free India. In the context of the above two statements, which one of the following is correct? 1996. Both A and R are true but R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. Answer D. Question 7. Q. The President of Indian National Congress at the time of partition of India was 2002. A. C. Rajagopalachari. B. J. B. Kripalani. C. Jawaharlal Nehru. D. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Answer B. Question 8. Q. At the time of India's independence, Mahatma Gandhi was 1998. A member of Congress Working Committee. B. Not a member of the Congress. C. The President of the Congress. D. The General Secretary of the Congress. Answer D. Indian National Congress and its sessions. Question 1. Q. Where was the first session of the Indian National Congress held in December 1885? 2008. Ahmedabad. B. Bombay. C. Calcutta. D. Delhi. Answer B. Explanation. Bombay session. Black Small Square year 1885. Black Small Square place Bombay. Black Small Square President Vimish Chandra Banerjee. Important facts. Black Small Square Indian National Congress Party formed by British civil servant Alan Octavian Hume in 1885. Black Small Square in its initial days, the party was not formed to demand independence from British rule. It was rather set up to bring together a group of educated individuals on a common platform to influence policy making. Black Small Square Lord Dufferin was the Viceroy of British India when party was formed. Black Small Square the first meeting of Indian National Congress took place from December 28 to 31 in Gopaldas Tejpal. Sanskrit College, Bombay. Black Small Square a total 72 delegates from all parts of the country took part in the session. Black Small Square objectives of the Congress were outlined in the session. Question 2. Q. 4 resolutions were passed at the famous Calcutta session of Indian National Congress in 1906. The question of either retention or of rejection of these 4 resolutions became the cause of split in Congress at the next Congress session held in Surat in 1907. Which one of the following was no tone of those resolutions? 2010. Annulment of partition of Bengal. B. Boycott. C. National education. D. Swadeshi. Answer A. Question 3. Q. Consider the following statements. 1. The first session of the Indian National Congress was held in Calcutta. 2. The second session of the Indian National Congress was held under the presidentship of Dadabhai Naoroji. 3. Both Indian National Congress and Muslim League held their sessions at Lucknow in 1916 and concluded the Lucknow Pact. Which of the statements given above are correct? 2004. 1 and 2, B, 2 only, C, 2 and 3, D, 3 only. Answer C. Explanation. Lucknow session. This session produced 2 historic developments. 1. 2 wings of the Congress were reunited, which split in Surat session of Congress 1907. It demanded further constitutional reforms as a step towards self-government. 2. The Congress and the All India Muslim League sank their old differences and put up common demands before the government. The unity between the Congress and the League was brought by the signing of the Congress League Pact, known popularly as the Lucknow Pact. Question 4. Q. Who among the following leaders proposed to adopt complete independence is the goal of the Congress in the Ahmedabad session of 1920? 2001. Abdul Kalam Azad. B. Hasrat Mohani. C. Jawaharlal Lal Nehru. D. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Answer B. Explanation. Ahmedabad session. Black Small Square year 1921. Black Small Square place Ahmedabad. Black Small Square President Hakim Ajmal Khan, acting president for C.R. Das. Black Small Square. From the very beginning of the formation of the party, the CPI raised the demand of complete independence before any of the main political parties in India, including the Indian National Congress. Black Small Square, the 1921 session, 36th of the Indian National Congress held at Ahmedabad, the party made its presence known among the delegates through the distribution of a manifesto. The manifesto, signed by M. N. Roy and Abani Mukherjee, demanded complete independence from British rule and asked the King to sever all connections with the British Empire and offer full support to the struggles of the working class and peasantry. Black Small Square, the manifesto was mailed to other parts of the country also. Black Small Square, the influence that the manifesto exerted on the delegates and participants could be seen from the fact that the radical congressman, Maulana Hazrat Mohani, moved a resolution in favor of complete independence. Black Small Square, although rejected by a majority of delegates, led by Gandhi, the very fact that the resolution was moved was an indication that communist positions had started affecting the anti-imperialist movement. Question 5. Q. The 1929 session of Indian National Congress is of significance in the history of the freedom movement because the 2014 attainment of self-government was declared as the objective of the Congress. B. Attainment of Purna Swaraj was adopted as the goal of the Congress. C. Non-cooperation movement was launched. D. Decision to participate in the Round Table Conference in London was taken. Answer B. Explanation. Lahore session. Blackswall Square year 1929. Blackswall Square place Lahore. Blackswall Square President Jawaharlal Nehru. Important facts. Blackswall Square in December 1929 under the presidentship of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Indian National Congress at its Lahore session declared Purna Swaraj, complete independence, to be the goal of the national movement. Blackswall Square on the 31st of December 1929, the newly adopted tricolor flag was unfurled, and the 26th of January fixed as India's Republic Day, which was to be celebrated every year. Blackswall Square this session also announced the launching of civil disobedience movement. Question 6. Q. At which Congress session was the working committee authorized to launch a program of civil disobedience? 2005. Bombay, B. Lahore, C. Lucknow, D. Tripura. Answer, B. Question 7. Q. Under whose presidency was the Lahore session of the Indian Congress held in the year 1929, wherein a resolution was adopted to gain complete independence from the British? 2006. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, B. Gopal Krishna Gokhale, C. Jawaharlal Nehru, D. Motilal Nehru. Answer, C. Question 8. Q. The Lahore session of the Indian National Congress 1929 is very important in history because 2012. 1. The Congress passed a resolution demanding complete independence. 2. The rift between the extremists and moderates was resolved in that session. 3. A resolution was passed rejecting the two-nation theory in that session. Which of the statements given above are correct? 1 only. B. 2 and 3. C. 1 and 3. D. None of the above. Answer, A. Question 9. Q. For the Karachi session of Indian National Congress in 1931 presided over by Sardar Patel, who drafted the resolution on fundamental rights and economic program. 2005-2010. Mahatma Gandhi. B. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. C. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. D. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar. Answer, D. Question 10. Q. With reference to the Indian freedom struggle, which one of the following statements is not correct? 2003. The Rowlatt Act aroused a wave of popular indignation and led to the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. D. Subhash Chandra Bose formed the forward bloc. C. Bhagat Singh was one of the founders of Hindustan Republican Socialist Association. D. In 1931, the Congress session at Karachi opposed the Gandhi Urban Pact. Answer, D. Question 11. Q. While delivering the presidential address, the Congress president who advocated the introduction of Roman script for Hindi language was 2000. Mahatma Gandhi. B. Jawaharlal Nehru. C. Abul Kalam Azad. D. Subhash Chandra Bose. Answer, D. Explanation. Haripura session. Blackswall Square year 1938. Blackswall Square place Haripura in Bardoli district of Gujarat. Blackswall Square President Subhash Chandra Bose. Important facts. Blackswall Square in the session under Subhash Bose, a resolution was passed. Blackswall Square as per Haripura resolution, Britain was given 6 months ultimatum to the British, failing to which there will be a revolt. Blackswall Square, but this was something Gandhi could not digest. Subhash Bose did not endorse the non-violence and satyagraha tactics of Gandhi to throw the British away. The result was that there was a great divide between Gandhi and Bose. Similarly, Nehru also fell apart from Bose. Blackswall Square, this variance grew further when Subhash Chandra Bose organized National Planning Committee Blackswall Square in the Haripura session of 1938. The Congress President Subhash Chandra Bose advocated the introduction of Roman script for Hindi language. Developments under British rule. Part 1. Question 1. Q. With reference to educational institutions during colonial rule in India, consider the following pair. Sad face 2018. Institution founder. Sanskrit College at Banaras, William Jones, Calcutta, Madrasa, Warren Hastings, Fort William College, Arthur Wellesley. Which of the pairs given above are correct? 1 and 2, 2 only. 1 and 3, 3 only. Answer, B. Explanation. Blackswall Square Government Sanskrit College was among the earliest educational institutions built by the British East India Company in India. Blackswall Square, it was established in Banaras in 1791 and was during its time a landmark college in India from where several notable teachers emerged. Blackswall Square in 1958 it merged with Sampurnanand Sanskrit University. Blackswall Square, it was founded by Jonathan Duncan. Blackswall Square Calcutta Madrasa, the later Calcutta Alia Madrasa, was the earliest of the state-managed educational institutions under the British rule in India. Blackswall Square founded by the Governor-General Warren Hastings in October 1780. Blackswall Square, the Bengal government took it over in April 1782. Blackswall Square, originally situated at Bethikana near Selda in Calcutta, it was shifted to its present site at Wellesley Square in 1827. Blackswall Square Fort William College was an academy and learning centre of Oriental studies established by Lord Wellesley, Richard Wellesley. Blackswall Square, the law to establish its foundation was passed on the 4th of May 1800 to commemorate the first anniversary of the victory over Tipu Sultanate Seringapatam. Blackswall Square, it was founded on the 10th of July 1800 within the Fort William complex in Calcutta. Thousands of books were translated from Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian, Bengali, Hindi, and Urdu into English at this institution. Question 2. Q. Who amongst the following Englishmen first translated Bhagavad Gita into English? 2001. William Jones. B. Charles Wilkins. C. Alexander Cunningham. D. John Marshall. Answer, B. Question 3. Q. In collaboration with David Hare and Alexander Duff, who of the following established Hindu Gate, Calcutta? 2009. Henry Louis Vivendirozio. B. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. C. Keshab Chandra Sen. D. Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Answer, D. Explanation. Blackswall Square, with the creation of the Supreme Court of Calcutta in 1774, many Hindus of Bengal showed eagerness to learn the English language. Blackswall Square, David Hare, in collaboration with Raja Radhakanta Dev, had already taken steps to introduce English education in Bengal. Blackswall Square, the college was formally opened on the 20th of January 1817 with 20 scholars. Blackswall Square, the foundation committee of the college, which oversaw its establishment, was headed by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Founders: Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Radhakant Dev, David Hare, Sir Edward Hyde, East Badinath Mukhopadhyay, Rasamedat. Blackswall Square, the newly established college, mostly admitted Hindu students from affluent and progressive families, but also admitted non-Hindu students such as Muslims, Jews, Christians and Buddhists. Question 4. Q. Which of the following led to the introduction of English education in India? 2018. 1. Charter Act of 1813. 2. General Committee of Public Instruction, 1823-3. Orientalist and Anglicist controversy. Select the correct answer using the code given below. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. Answer, D. Explanation. Blackswall Square, according to the clause 43 of the Charter Act of 1813, the company had partly undertaken the responsibility of education in India and a sum of 1 lakh of rupees had been earmarked for the purpose. Blackswall Square, but no concrete steps were taken in this regard before 1823. Blackswall Square, the company was reluctant initially to spend the money as it had no definite policy and agency with regard to the mode of expenditure of the said amount. Blackswall Square in 1823, General Committee of Public Instruction was created to deal with educational matters, particularly the expenditure of the sum of 1 lakh of rupees. Blackswall Square, thus a state system of education, was begun almost simultaneously in all the three presidencies by about 1823 and continued to expand till 1833. Blackswall Square, the educational grant of India, was also increased from 1 lakh to 10 lakhs of rupees per annum. Blackswall Square between 1823 and 1833, the committee did the following work. It reorganized the Calcutta Madrasa and the Banaras Sanskrit College. It set up a Sanskrit College in Calcutta in 1824. It established 2 more colleges at Agra and Delhi. It introduced English classes in all Oriental colleges such as Calcutta Madrasa, Calcutta Sanskrit College, Banaras Sanskrit College, Delhi College, and Agra College etc. It undertook the printing and publication of Sanskrit and Arabic books on a large scale. It employed Oriental scholars to translate English books into the Oriental languages, and it encouraged Oriental scholars by offering material benefits. Blackswall Square, thus the activities of the GCPI for the decade from 1823 clearly indicate its inclination towards Orientalism. Blackswall Square, this policy of Orientalism was severely attacked by the enlightened Indians under the leadership of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Blackswall Square, he submitted a memorandum to the Governor General on the 11th of December 1823 and urged the government to abandon the proposal for establishing a Sanskrit college in Calcutta. Question 5. Q. The aim of education as stated by the Woods Dispatch of 1854 was 2003. The creation of employment opportunities for native Indians. B. The spread of Western culture in India. C. The promotion of literacy among the people using English medium. D. The introduction of scientific research and rationalism in the traditional Indian education. Answer C. Explanation. Woods Dispatch, Blackswall Square in 1854. Blackswall Square sent by Charles Wood. Blackswall Square, Governor General at Dalhousie. Important facts. Blackswall Square, Woods Dispatch on education in 1854 laid the foundation on which the educational system has since developed. Various problems related to education in India had become one of the key concerns of the British government by 1853. Blackswall Square, according to Charles Wood, the English institutions could serve as the useful model for education. In 1854, Wood prepared his comprehensive dispatch on the scheme of the future education in India. Blackswall Square, the dispatch came to be considered as the Magna Carta of English education in India. Objectives. To confer upon the natives of India those vast and material blessings which flow from the general diffusion of Western knowledge. To raise the moral character of those who partake of their above advantage. To supply the East India Company with reliable and capable public servants. To secure for England a large and more certain supply of many articles necessary for her manufactures and were extensively consumed by her population. Recommendations. Question 6. Q. Regarding Wood's dispatch, which of the following statements are true? 2018. 1. Grants in aid system was introduced. 2. Establishment of universities was recommended. 3. English as a medium of instruction at all levels of education was recommended. Select the correct answer using the code given below. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. Answer A. Question 7. Q. What is the correct chronological sequence of the following? 1. Wood's Education Dispatch. 2. Macaulay's Minute on Education. 3. The Sargent Education Report. 4. Indian Education Hunter Commission. Select the correct answer using the code given below. 1997. 2, 1, 4, 3, B, 2, 1, 3, 4, C, 1, 2, 4, 3, D, 4, 3, 1, 3. Answer A. Explanation. The Sargent Education Report. Blackswall Square, the Sargent Scheme, formerly known as the Report of the Sargent Commission on Post-War Education Development in India, was a 1944 memorandum prepared at the behest of the British Government of India that outlined the future development of literacy and education in India. Blackswall Square, it was prepared by John Sargent. Blackswall Square's central goal of the Sargent Scheme was the educational reconstruction of India. Blackswall Square, it recommended the introduction of free and compulsory education for all Indian children in the 6 to 11 years age group. Blackswall Square, the plan aimed to bring about universal literacy in India within 40 years of its introduction, i.e. by 1984. The scheme went as follows. Establishment of elementary schools and high schools. High schools of 2 types. 1. Academic. 2. Technical and vocational intermediate courses were to be abolished. Macaulay's Minute on Education. Purposito settled dispute between Orientalists and Anglicists in 1835. Submitted Feb. 1835. Governor General William Bentinck. Hunter Education Commission. Blackswall Square Hunter Education Commission was a landmark commission appointed by Viceroy Lord Ripon with objectives to look into the complaints of the non-implementation of the Woods Dispatch of 1854. The contemporary status of elementary education in the British territories and suggest means by which this can be extended and improved. This commission, headed by Sir William Wilson Hunter, had submitted its report in 1882. Blackswall Square, the Hunter Commission brought out the neglect to the primary and secondary education in the country and recommended that the responsibility for the primary education must be given to the local boards and municipal boards. Recommendations. Blackswall Square encouragement to primary education. The commission found that primary education in the British Indian territories is lagging behind and some part of the provincial revenues must be reserved for financing the development of primary education in British Indian territories. Blackswall Square secondary education. The commission recommended that the secondary schools should be progressively handed over to the private enterprises, which should be encouraged in the form of grants and aid. Blackswall Square grant and aid for indigenous schools. The commission recommended grants and aid for the indigenous schools on the basis of payments by results. Blackswall Square, there should be literary and vocational training in secondary education. Blackswall Square, the commission brought out inadequate facilities available for the female education. Blackswall Square, special attention should be paid towards development of education among Muslims. Question 8. Q. Consider the following landmarks in Indian education. 1996. 1. Hindu College, Calcutta. 2. University of Calcutta. 3. Adams Report. 4. Woods Dispatch. The correct chronological order of these landmarks is 1, 3, 4, 2, B, 1, 4, 3, 2, C, 3, 1, 4, 2, D, 3, 2, 4, 1. Answer A. Explanation. Blackswall Square, the University of Calcutta, is a collegiate public state university located in Kolkata. Formerly Calcutta, West Bengal, India, established on the 24th of January 1857. Blackswall Square, it was founded by Alexander Duff. Blackswall Square, it was the first institution in Asia to be established as a multidisciplinary and secular Western style university. Blackswall Square, its alumni and faculty include 4 Nobel laureates. Ronald Ross, Medicine. Rabindranath Tagore, Literature. C.V. Raman, Physics, Amartya Sen, Economics. Adam Report. The Court of Directors sent a letter in 1813 to inquire into the prevailing system of primary education in India. Accordingly, in Madras and Bombay inquiries were made with regard to indigenous education in 1822 and 1823, respectively. In Bengal, a special inquiry into the condition of indigenous education was conducted in 1835-38, under the orders of Lord William Bentinck, by William Adams, a missionary who had devoted himself to the cause of Indian education. Question 9. Q. Assertion A. The first ever bill to make primary education compulsory in India was rejected in 1911. Reason: art discontent would have increased if every cultivator could read. 1998. Both A and R are true but R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. Answer. A. Explanation. Blackswall Square is a member of the Legislative Council. Gokhale put forward a proposal for compulsory primary education in 1910. The proposal was as follows: a beginning should be made in the direction of making elementary education free and compulsory throughout the country, and that a mixed commission of officials and non-officials be appointed at an early date to frame definite proposal. Blackswall Square following were the important points of the resolution. Primary education should be made free and compulsory in the area where 35% of boys were receiving education. This provision should apply to the age group of 6 to 10 years. The cost of compulsory primary education should be shared by the provincial government and the local bodies in the ratio of 2:1. A separate department of education shall be opened under the central government to draw up a scheme for the expansion of primary education. A secretary should be appointed to organize, supervise and look after the primary education. Blackswall Square is a reaction to Gokhale's resolution. The government assured him that the subject would receive careful consideration. Blackswall Square consequently Gokhale withdrew his resolution. Later on, the government accepted only the last 3 resolutions of Gokhale. A department of education was established under the central government and the secretary was also appointed. But the main issue of making primary education free and compulsory remained neglected and unattended by the government. Developments under British rule part 2. Question 1. Q. Consider the following statements. 2009. 1. The first telegraph line in India was laid between Kolkata, formerly Calcutta, and Diamond Harbour 2. The first export processing zone in India was set up in Kandla. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Answer. C. Explanation. Blackswall Square Lord Dalhousie paved the way for the Imperial Telegraph Department in 1850. Blackswall Square British India's first telegraph line and office was opened in October 1851 between Calcutta and Diamond Harbour along the busy shipping route on the Hooghly. Blackswall Square by March 1854. There were 800 miles of telegraph lines between Calcutta and Agra and this was further connected to Bombay and Madras. Overseas telegraph communication was made possible in 1865 by running cables along the seabed. Blackswall Square, the Kandla Free Trade Zone, India's first export processing zone, was set up in 1965. Blackswall Square subsequently, 6 more EPZs were set up. Santa Cruz, Mumbai. Falta, West Bengal. Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Noida, UP. Kochi, Kerala. Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Question 2. Q. There was no independent development of industries in India during British rule because of the 1999. Absence of heavy industries. B. Scarcity of foreign capital. C. Scarcity of natural resources. D. Preference of the rich to invest in land. Answer. A. Question 3. Q. Which one of the following pairs is not correctly matched? 1995. Jamnalal Bajaj, Satyagraha Ashram at Wardha. B. Dadabhai Nauroji, Bombay Association. C. Lala Lajpat Rai, National School at Lahore. D. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Satyashodhak Sabha. Answer. D. Explanation. Blackswall Square Satyashodhak Samaj Truth Seekers Society is a social reform society founded by Jyotiba Phule in Pune, India, on the 24th of September 1873. Blackswall Square, its purpose was to liberate the less privileged in the then prevailing society such as women, Shudra, and Dalit from exploitation and oppression. Blackswall Square Jyotiba's wife Savitribai was the head of the women's section of the society. Blackswall Square Sabarmati Ashram had been seized by the government. During the Salt Satyagraha, so Gandhi now established a little retreat at Sevagram near Wardha in Maharashtra. This became his headquarters. Blackswall Square Sheikh Jamnalal Bajaj of Wardha, a disciple of Mahatma Gandhi, made available to the ashram about 300 acres of land. Blackswall Square Bombay Association was the first political association in Bombay Presidency. Blackswall Square, it was founded by Dadabhai Nauroji in 1852 to express public grievances to the British. Blackswall Square is part of non-cooperation movement. Lala Lajpat Rai founded the National College in Lahore to cater to the youth who were now boycotting British colonial institutes. Question 5. Q. Consider the following statements. 2017. 1. The Factories Act 1881 was passed with a view to fix the wages of industrial workers and to allow the workers to form trade unions. 2. N.M. Lokhande was a pioneer in organizing the labour movement in British India. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Answer. B. Explanation. Blackswall Square, the first Factory Act was enacted in 1881. Blackswall Square, the 1881 Act aimed to improve working conditions of labour. Blackswall Square, it prohibited the employment of children under the age of 7, limited the number of working hours for children. Blackswall Square, N.M. Lokhande was a pioneer of the labour movement in India. Blackswall Square, he is remembered not only for ameliorating the working conditions of textile mill hands in the 19th century but also for his courageous initiatives on caste and communal issues. Question 5. Q. The objective of Butler Committee of 1927 was to 2017. Define the jurisdiction of the central and provincial governments. B. Define the powers of the Secretary of State for India. C. Impose censorship on national press. D. Improve the relationship between the government of India and the Indian states. Answer. D. Explanation. Butler Committee. Blackswall Square, to examine the nature of relationship between the states and government, the Butler Committee was set up in 1927. It was also called the Indian States Committee. Blackswall Square, the committee was formed with an objective of inquiring into the relationship between the Indian states and the paramount power and to suggest ways and means for more satisfactory adjustments of existing relations between them and the British India. Recommendations. Blackswall Square paramountcy must remain supreme and must fulfill its obligations, adopting and defining itself according to the shifting necessities of time amid progressive development of states. Blackswall Square, the states were bound by treaties with the Crown and the states should not be handed over without the ruler's prior consent to an Indian government in British India responsible to an Indian legislature. Blackswall Square, the Viceroy, not the Governor General in Council, was to be the Crown agent in dealing states. Question 6. Q. During the colonial period in India, what was the purpose of the Whitley Commission? 2003. To review the fitness of India for further political reforms. B. To report on existing conditions of labour and to make recommendations. C. To draw up a plan for financial reforms for India. D. To develop a comprehensive scheme for civil services in India. Answer B. Explanation. Whitley Commission. Blackswall Square Whitley Commission on Labour was set up in 1929 to inquire into the existing conditions of labour in industrial undertakings and plantations in India. Blackswall Square. The commission was chaired by John Henry Whitley. The commission submitted its report in 1931. Blackswall Square. This commission was also critical of British employers' role in perpetuating the problems like poverty in India. Blackswall Square. The Royal Commission on Labour in 1931 pointed out the need for systematic collection of labour statistics. Blackswall Square. It observed that the policy must be built on facts as the uncertainty of facts would lead to confusion and conflict regarding its aim. Blackswall Square. The commission recommended the adoption of suitable legislation enabling the competent authority to collect information regarding the living, working and socio-economic conditions of industrial labour. Question 7. Q. The Trade Disputes Act of 1929 provided for 2017. The participation of workers in the management of industries. B. Arbitrary powers to the management to quell industrial disputes. C. An intervention by the British court in the event of a trade dispute. D. A system of tribunals and a ban on strikes. Answer. D. Explanation. Trade disputes. ACT. Blackswall Square. Prior to the First World War, strikes were a rare phenomenon. Strikes appeared in violent forms. After 1920, Blackswall Square, there was a general mill strike in 1924. Blackswall Square. The principal objective of the act was to provide a conciliation machinery to bring about peaceful settlement of industrial disputes. The act authorized the central and state governments to establish a board of conciliation or a court of inquiry to investigate into and settle industrial disputes. These tribunals were set up on ad hoc basis. Blackswall Square. The act prohibited strikes and lockouts in public utility services without prior notice. Such strikes were illegal and punishable under the act. Blackswall Square strike for any other purpose other than furtherance of an industrial dispute was also declared illegal. Blackswall Square experience of the working of the act clearly revealed that it was inadequate to maintain industrial disputes. Thus the Industrial Disputes Act, 1948 was passed which repealed and replaced this act. Question 8. Q. The term imperial preference was applied to the 1999. Special privileges on British imports in India. B. Racial discrimination by the Britishes. C. Subordination of Indian interest to that of the British. D. Preference given to British political agents over Indian princes. Answer A. Explanation. Imperial preference. Blackswall Square imperial preference was a system of reciprocally enacted tariffs or free trade agreements between the dominions and colonies of the British Empire. Blackswall Square. It was designed to encourage trade within the British Empire by lowering tariff rates between members, while maintaining discriminatory tariff rates against outsiders. Blackswall Square imperial preference was considered a method of promoting unity within the British Empire and sustaining Britain's position as a global power as a response to increased competition from the protectionist Germany and United States. Blackswall Square. After the Second World War, the policy slowly declined as a result of American pressure, the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, 1947, and Britain's adhesion to a rival trading unit, the European Economic Community, in 1973. Question 9. Q. Match list I with list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below the lists. 1997, LIST 1 list 2. A. Butler Committee Report 1. Relationship between the Indian state and Thay. Paramount Power. B. Hartog Committee Report 2. Relationship between the Indian state and Thay. Paramount Power. C. Hunter Inquiry Committee Report 3. Working of Diakis laid down in Thay. Montague-Chelmsford Reforms. D. Wood-Deman Committee Report 4. The growth of education in British India and potentialities of its further progress. A. A3, B2, C1, D4, B. A1, B4, C2, D3, C. A2, B1, C3, D4, D. A2, B4, C1, D3. Answer D. Question 10. Q. With reference to the period of colonial rule in India, home charges formed an important part of drain of wealth from India. Which of the following funds constituted home charges? 2011. 1. Funds used to support the India office in London. 2. Funds used to pay salaries and pensions of British personnel engaged in India. 3. Funds used for waging wars outside India by the British. 1 only. B. 1 and 2 only. C. 2 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. Answer D. Explanation. Home charges. Blackswall Square. Before independence in India, home charges were special types of contributions which were used by the British government for meeting various types of expenses for maintenance of the colony. Blackswall Square. These consist of payments of pensions and salaries of British people staying in India. Interest earned on external debt of India. Interest on money expended in India on railways and irrigation works and for other purposes of the government to pay for stores charges for effective and non-effective services of British troops on the Indian establishment, retired pay of civil and military officers and servants of the government and other expenditures. Religious and social reform movements. Question 1. Q. Which of the following statements are correct regarding Brahmo Samaj? 2012. It opposed idolatry. It denied the need for a priestly class for interpreting the religious texts. It popularized the doctrine that the Vedas are infallible. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. 1 only. B. 1 and 2 only. C. 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. Answer B. Explanation. Brahmo Samaj. Blackswall Square. Brahmo Samaj was the first important organization of religious reforms. Blackswall Square. It was set up by Raja Ram Mohan Roy in 1828. Blackswall Square. The features of Brahmo Samaj may be summed thus. It denounced polytheism and idol worship. It discarded faith in divine avatars, incarnations. It denied that any scripture could enjoy the status of ultimate authority transcending human reason and conscience. It took no definite stand on the doctrine of karma and transmigration of soul and left it to individual Brahmos to believe either way. It criticized the caste system. The long-term agenda of the Brahmo Samaj, to purify Hinduism and to preach monotheism, was based on the twin pillars of reason and the Vedas and Upanishads. It also tried to incorporate teachings of other religions and kept its emphasis on human dignity. Opposition to idolatry and criticism of social evils such as sati. Blackswall Square. The influence of Brahmo Samaj spread and branches of the Samaj were opened in different parts of the country. The two most prominent leaders of the Brahmo Samaj were Debendranath Tagore and Keshub Chandra Sen. Blackswall Square. To spread the message of Brahmo Samaj, Keshub Chandra Sen travelled throughout Madras and Bombay presidencies and, later, the northern India. Blackswall Square. In 1866, there was a split in the Brahmo Samaj when Keshub Chandra Sen and his group held views which were more radical than those of the original Brahmo Samajists. Blacks Fall Square they proclaimed freedom from the bondage of caste and customs, and from the authority of scriptures. Blacks Fall Square they advocated and performed intercaste marriages and widow remarriages, opposed the custom of purdah and condemned caste divisions. Blacks Fall Square he also campaigned for women's education. Question 2. Q. Consider the following statements. 1. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar founded the Bethune School at Calcutta with the main aim of encouraging education for women. 2. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay was the first graduate of the Calcutta University. 3. Keshav Chandra Sen's campaign against sati led to the enactment of a law to ban sati by the Governor General. Which of the statements given above are correct? 2005. 1 only, B, 1 and 2, C, 2 and 3, D, 1, 2 and 3 answer, B. Question 3. Q. Consider the following statements. 2001. 1. Arya Samaj was founded in 1835. 2. Lala Lajpat Rai opposed the appeal of Arya Samaj to the authority of Vedas in support of its social reform program. 3. Under Keshav Chandra Sen, the Brahmo Samaj campaigned for women's education. 4. Vinoba Bhave founded the Sarvodaya Samaj to work among refugees. Which of these statements are correct? 1 and 2, B, 2 and 3, C, 2 and 4, D, 3 and 4 answer, D. Explanation. Arya Samaj is an Indian Hindu reform movement that promotes values and practices based on the belief in the infallible authority of the Vedas. Blacks Fall Square it was established in Bombay on the 7th of April 1875 by Dayanand Saraswati and later the headquarters of Samaj were established at Lahore. Blacks Fall Square his vision of India included a classless and casteless society, a united India religiously, socially and nationally, and an India free from foreign rule, with Aryan religion being the common religion of all. Blacks Fall Square he took inspiration from the Vedas and considered them to be India's rock of ages. He gave the slogan, back to the Vedas. Blacks Fall Square intercaste marriages and widow remarriages were also encouraged. Equal status for women was the demand of the Samaj, both in letter and in spirit. Blacks Fall Square in its zeal to protect the Hindu society from the onslaught of Christianity and Islam, the Samaj started the Shuddhi, purification, movement to reconvert to the Hindu fold the converts to Christianity and Islam. Blacks Fall Square the work of the Swami after his death was carried forward by Lala Hansraj, Pandit Gurudit, Lala Lajpat Rai and Swami Shraddhanand, among others. Blacks Fall Square Sarvodaya is a Sanskrit term meaning universal uplift or progress of all. The term was used by Mahatma Gandhi. Blacks Fall Square later Indians, like the Indian nonviolence activist Vinoba Bhave, embraced the term as a name for the social movement in post-independence India which strove to ensure that self-determination and equality reached all strata of Indian society. Blacks Fall Square Sarvodaya workers associated with Vinoba, Jaya Prakash Narayan, Dada Dharmadhikari, Ravi Shankar Maharaj, Dhirendra Majumdar, Shankar Rao Dio, and K.G. Mishrawala undertook various projects aimed at encouraging popular self-organization during the 1950s and 1960s, including Udan and Gramdan movements. Blacks Fall Square beginning on the one-year anniversary of the immersion of Gandhi's ashes, an annual Sarvodaya Mela or festival has been held at Srirangapatna and at Tirunavaya. At the latter site, it was instituted by K. Kalippaji. Question 4. Q. Satyashodhak Sabha organized 2016. A movement for upliftment of tribals in Bihar. B. A temple entry movement in Gujarat. C. An anti-caste movement in Maharashtra. D. A peasant movement in Punjab answer, C. Explanation. Important information. Blacks Fall Square founded by Jyotiba Phule. Blacks Fall Square founded on the 24th of September 1873. Blacks Fall Square its purpose was to liberate the less privileged in the then prevailing society such as women, should run invalid from exploitation and oppression. Question 5. Q. Who among the following was a proponent of Fabianism as a movement? 2005. A. Annie Besant. B. A. O. Hame. C. Michael Madhusudan Dutt. D. R. Palmdutt. Answer. A. Explanation. Blacks Fall Square Fabian socialism is a type of socialism founded in 1884. In London, Blacks Fall Square it sought use of the democratic framework to achieve gradual conversion to socialism. Blacks Fall Square ideologically, Fabians are quite different than other brands of socialism. Fabian socialists prefer evolutionary tactics over revolutionary tactics. This is a direct rejection of one of the most important parts of Marxism. Blacks Fall Square important Fabians includes George Bernard Shaw, Beatrice and Sidney Webb, Annie Besant, and Bertrand Russell. Fabianism as a movement was started by Annie Besant in India. Jawaharlal Nehru was also influenced by this ideology. Question 6. Q. Which among the following events happened earliest? 2018. Swami Dayanand established Arya Samaj. B. Dinabandhu Mitra wrote Neeldarpan. C. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay wrote Anandmart. D. Satyendranath Tagore became the first Indian to succeed in the Indian Civil Services examination answer, B. Explanation. Important years to remember. Blacks Fall Square Arya Samaj 1875. Blacks Fall Square Neeldarpan 1858-59 Blacks Fall Square Anandmart 1882. Blacks Fall Square first Indian to succeed in ICS 1863 Question 7. Q. Consider the following pairs, 2017. 1. Radhakanta Deb first President of the British Indian Association. 2. Gazulu Lakshmi Narasuchati founder of the Madrasa Mahajan Sabha 3. Surendranath Banerjee founder of the Indian Association. Which of the above pairs are correctly matched? 1 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 2 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3 answer, B. Explanation. The British Indian Association. Blacks Fall Square The British Indian Association was established in October 1851. The president of the first committee of this organization was Raja Radhakanta Deb, while Debendranath Tagore was its secretary. Blacks Fall Square the newspaper of the society was Hindu Patriot, which adopted a strongly critical political tone. It was formed by the amalgamation of the Landholders Society and the Bengal British India Society. Madras Mahajan Sabha. Blacks Fall Square the first organization in the Madras Presidency to agitate for the rights of Indians was the Madras Native Association, which was established by publicist Gazulu Lakshmi Narasuchati in 1852. This organization did not survive for long and was eventually disbanded. Blacks Fall Square in May 1884, M. V. Raghavacharya, G. Subramania Iyer and P. Anandachalu were established. The Madras Mahajan Sabha Indian Association. Blacks Fall Square the Indian National Association, also known as Indian Association, was the first avowed nationalist organization founded in British India by Surendranath Banerjee and Ananda Mohan Bose in 1876. Blacks Fall Square the objectives of this association were promoting by every legitimate means the political, intellectual and material advancement of the people. Revolutionary activities during freedom struggle. In this chapter, we will be analyzing the previous year UPSC prelims questions asked in context of revolutionary activities during freedom struggle. These topics are very important, so let us first revise them before solving the question. This revision will allow you to answer the questions easily. Anushilan Samiti. Blacks Fall Square the first revolutionary in Bengal was the Anushilan Samite. Blacks Fall Square the Anushilan Samite was established by Pramatanath. Mitra, Black Sword Square. The people associated with the Semite were Sri Aurobindo, Deshabindhu Chitranjan Das, Surendranath Tagore, Jatindranath Banerjee, Bhagat Jatin, Bhupendranath Datta, Barindra Ghosh etc. Black Sword Square in April 1906, and in a circle within Anushilin, Barindra Kumar Ghosh, Bhupendranath Datta, started the weekly Yuran Tour and conducted a few abortive actions. Black Sword Square, Ras Bihari Bose and Sachin Sanyal had organized a secret society covering far-flung areas of Punjab, Delhi and United Provinces. Black Sword Square in 1908, Prafulla Chaki and Khudiram Bose threw a bomb at a carriage supposed to be carrying a particularly sadistic white judge, Kingsford, in Muzaffarpur. Black Sword Square, Aurobindo and Barindra Ghosh were tried in a Alipur conspiracy case. The Ghosh brothers were charged with conspiracy, or waging war against the king, the equivalent of high treason and punishable with death by hanging. Black Sword Square in 1908, Barra dacoity was organized by Decha Anushilin and the Pulindas to raise funds for revolutionary activities. Black Sword Square, the Western Anushilin Committee found a good leader in Jatindranath Mukherjee or Bhagat Jatin and emerged as the Juventur or Yurantar. Black Sword Square Jatin revitalized links between the central organization in Calcutta and other places in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Maharashtra. Black Sword Square, the first of the revolutionary activities in Maharashtra, was the organization of the Ramosi peasant force by Vasudev Balwant Phadke in 1879, which aimed to rid the country of the British by instigating an armed revolt by disrupting communication lines. Black Sword Square during the 1890s, Tilak propagated a spirit of militant nationalism, including use of violence, through Ganapati and Shivaji festivals and his journals Kesari and Maharatta. Black Sword Square, two of his disciples, the Chapkar brothers, Damodar and Bakrishna, murdered the plague commissioner of Pune, Rand, and one lieutenant. Iced in 1897. Black Sword Square Abhinav Bharat Society, Young India Society, was a secret society founded by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar and his brother Ganesh Damodar Savarkar in 1903. Black Sword Square secret society was founded at Nasik's Mitra Mela. The society grew to include several hundred revolutionaries and political activists with branches in various parts of India, extending to London after Savarkar went to study law. It carried out a few assassinations of British officials, after which the Savarkar brothers were convicted and imprisoned. Black Sword Square, the society was formally disbanded in 1952. Punjab. Black Sword Square, the Punjab extremism was fueled by issues such as frequent famines coupled with rise in land revenue in irrigation tax, practice of beggar by zamindars and by the events in Bengal. Black Sword Square, among those active here were Lala Lajpat Rai and Ajit Singh, who organized the extremist Anjuman-i Mohizban Watan in Lahore with its journal Bharat Mata. Abroad. Black Sword Square, Shyamji Krishna Verma had started in London in 1905 an Indian Home Rule Society, India House, as a centre for Indian students, a scholarship scheme to bring radical youth from India, and a journal The Indian Sociologist. Black Sword Square, Madanlal Deenra from the Circle assassinated the India office bureaucrat Cousin Willie in 1909. Black Sword Square, Madam Bikaji Kama developed contacts with French socialists. Question 1. Q. Abhinav Bharat, a secret society of revolutionaries, was organized by 1999. A. Khudiram Bose, B. V. D. Savarkar, C. Prafulla Chaki, D. Bhagat Singh. Answer B. Question 2. Q. Match list I with list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below the lists. 2000. List 1, list 2. A. Chittagaon Amari Raid 1. Kalpana Dutt, B. Abhinav Bharat 2. Guru Ram Singh, C. Anushilin Samiti 3. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, D. Kukam Movement 4. Aurobindo Ghosh. Codes. A. A1, B3, C4, D2, B. A1, B3, C1, D4, C. A3, B1, C2, D4, D. A3, B1, C4, D2. Answer A. Question 3. Q. Match list I with list 2 and select the correct answer. 1996 LIST 1 list 2. A. Abhinav Bharat Society 1. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, B. Anushilin Samiti 2. Lala Hardayal, C. Gadar Party 3. C.R. Das, D. Swaraj Party 4. V. D. Savarkar. Codes. A. A4, B1, C3, D2, B. A1, B4, C3, D2, C. A1, B4, C2, D3, D. A4, B1, C2, D3. Answer D. Revival of revolutionaries. Black Sword Square, the non-cooperation movement suddenly suspended following the mob violence at Chorichura. In UP, Black Sword Square, many young people began to question the basic strategy of national leadership and its emphasis on non-violence. Black Sword Square, gradually two separate groups of revolutionary nationalism developed. One in Punjab, UP and Bihar and the other in Bengal. Hindustan Socialist Republic Association. Black Sword Square Hindustan Socialist Republican Association HSRA was a revolutionary organization, also known as the Hindustan Socialist Republican Army, established in 1928 with Firoz Shah Kotla in New Delhi by Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev Thapar and others. Black Sword Square, previously it was known as the Hindustan Republican Association HRA. Black Sword Square, the group is also considered one of the first socialist organizations in India. Black Sword Square HSRA was rejuvenated by the ideologies of the Bolsheviks' involvement in the Russian Revolution of 1917. Black Sword Square, the association was formed as an outgrowth of the Anushilin Samiti. Black Sword Square Hindustan Socialist Republican Association was always in the forefront of revolutionary movements. In the northern parts of India, Black Sword Square, the association consisted of younger generations of UP, Bihar, Punjab, Bengal and Maharashtra. Revolutionary activities during the war. Chittagaon Amari Raid. Black Sword Square, date 18 April 1930. Black Sword Square, location Chittagaon, Bengal Presidency, British India. Black Sword Square, purpose, to raid the armory of police and auxiliary forces from the Chittagaon Armory. Black Sword Square result, failure to locate ammunition. Success to cut telephone and telegraph wires and disrupt train movements. Bomb in the Central Legislative Assembly. Black Sword Square, Lala Lajpat Rai died due to lathi blows received during a lathi charge on an anti-Simon Commission procession. Black Sword Square, Bhagat Singh, Azad and Rajguru shot dead Saunders, the police official responsible for the lathi charges in Lahore. Black Sword Square, Bhagat Singh and Bhutukeshwar Dutt were asked to throw a bomb in the Central Legislative Assembly on April 8, 1929 to protest against the passage of Public Safety Bill and Trade Disputes Bill. Black Sword Square, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru were tried in the Lahore conspiracy case and were hanged on March 23, 1931. Black Sword Square, Azad died in a police encounter in Allahabad in February 1931. Revolutionary activities during the war. Black Sword Square, Dalhousie Square bomb case. A bomb was thrown on the Calcutta Police Commissioner, Charles Tegart, on the 25th of August 1930. Black Sword Square, Kakori train robbery. Black Sword Square, Chandrasekhar Azad, Ram Prasad Bismil, Jogesh Chatterjee, Ashfaqullah Khan, Banwari Lalan. Their accomplices participated in the robbery of treasury money that was being transported by train. Black Sword Square, the looting took place between Kakori Station and Alamnagar, within 40 miles, 64 kilometers of Lucknow on the 9th of August 1925. Black Sword Square police started an intense manhunt and arrested a large number of rebels and tried them in Thay. Kakori case. Blackspall Square Ishfaqullah Khan, Ram Prasad Bismil, Roshan Singh, Rajendra Lahiri were hanged, 4 others were sent to the cellular jail in Port Blair, Andaman for life and 17 others were sentenced to long terms of imprisonment. Quick revision. Land settlements, tribal and peasant movements.